It looks like Canelo Alvarez is going to Dazn for his Rocky Fielding fight and fights after that. Stay tuned. Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, there's a lot of chatter in the boxing world because boxing's biggest star, I was born ready, Canelo Alvarez, has a fight. He just did the face-off in New York. They're doing a press conference tomorrow to go over some of the parameters of the Rocky Fielding fight. Rocky Fielding looks huge next to Canelo, pause. And another big rumor circulating. I gotta label it a rumor until we get more information, but it sounds like it's going down, and that's Canelo Alvarez headed over to the new streaming app Dazn for this fight with Rocky Fielding and potentially additional fights after that. Now, again, I'll wait for more information. This is just my opinion on what happens. If things change, as always, look for my channel to give you guys the latest and greatest and the current update. But a lot of people are just jumping up for joy and saying, oh yeah, Dazn is popping and Eddie Hearn did it. There's a lot of people that are mistaken. My understanding of this is some people, let's start from the basics. Dazn is a streaming app that had been out before Eddie Hearn, right? Before Matchroom. Matchroom is one of the first people in boxing to bring their stable and offer fights to the Dazn platform. A lot of people think like Eddie Hearn owns Dazn, and that's not, to my knowledge, that's not the case, right? Just like Bellator. For example, if Eddie Hearn had a beef with the owner of Bellator, he can't stop Bellator from appearing on Dazn versus like, let's say this is my company, Boxingego. I can control what is published on my Instagram, what's on, I have 100% creative control, you know? So that's first things first. To my understanding, and we'll wait for the full clarification, Golden Boy Promotions and Canelo Alvarez, who is represented by Golden Boy, have done a deal with Dazn directly, you know? So his future fights, it's not like Eddie Hearn is going to be reaping the benefits unless it's like the Rocky Fielding fight. Now, Rocky Fielding fight, that's a fight where Eddie Hearn will reap the benefits because Rocky Fielding is a Matchroom fighter. So he's part of the promotion. Similarly, you look at Demetrius Andrade was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Andrade is with Dazn Matchroom, right? And he's also with, or Billy Joe Saunders was with Frank Warren. So it's a co-promotion, you know? Or Lomachenko versus Jorge Linares. That was Golden Boy putting their champion, Jorge Linares, in there with the top ranked fighter in Vasily Lomachenko, right? So that's my understanding. Like long term, again, unless Eddie Hearn's fighters are fighting against Canelo, I don't think it is going to affect him. This is a big thing for Dazn, you know, obviously to have the star power of Joshua and Canelo. Right, so I just want to provide a little bit of clarification for that because a lot of people are acting like Eddie Hearn was the one that got Canelo on the app and stuff like that, and I don't know that that's the case. And if, let's say, Canelo fights Gennady Golovkin, who's represented by K2 Promotion, or let's say he fights against, we'll say, who else is out there? I'm trying to think of who else is out there. Charlo. Then it's not going to involve Eddie Hearn. If he fights Demetrius Andrade, who's with Matchroom and DAZN. If Canelo fights him, then yeah, that fight is feasible. Or Danny Jacobs, who's currently with Eddie Hearn, then he would benefit from that. So Rocky Fielding, Danny Jacobs, Demetrius Andrade. But if he fights Charlo, or a Golovkin rematch, I don't believe Eddie Hearn will be the person that reaps the benefits. Just like when it's like Bellator. When Bellator has whatever audience they have, Rampage Jackson fighting, that doesn't affect Matchroom's bottom line. So a little bit of confusion there with a lot of fans. Like everyone's giving credit to Eddie Hearn, but this is big for DAZN. However, I do have some concerns and questions. We'll have to see how it plays out. The question is this: it's good for fans because fans have had to pay a lot of money to watch Canelo, over the last couple of years. Even fights that we didn't want to see, like Liam Smith and Amir Khan, you still had to pay $65 to $85, right? So Canelo's been on pay-per-view and he seldom went back from that, except for when he fought maybe like James Kirkland the week after Mayweather-Pacquiao, stuff like that. So he's been predominantly a pay-per-view fighter. Floyd fight, his fight with Mayweather, his fight with Angulo, his fight with Erislandy Lara, right? All these fights were on pay-per-view. So that's a steal, not having to pay per pop, $65 to $85. However, the reason I got to see how this works is to justify an A side like Canelo, they had to splurge, and in order to acquire Canelo, give him a lot of money. You know what I mean? Because he had to get a lot of upfront money because he's been making his money via pay-per-view. Like, if you put Amir Khan versus Canelo on regular TV, then it probably wouldn't have made as much money, especially like Liam Smith versus Canelo. But the way they were able to do it is they put it in a venue that holds 50,000, so you can make some money on the live gate, and then they put it on pay-per-view. So Canelo's gonna have 250 to 375,000 no matter who he fights, roughly, right? Plus maybe distribution rights in Mexico because he's not from America directly, etc. So the thing is, one of my concerns is now that he's being taken off the pay-per-view model, it benefits the fans. However, what else quality fights are we going to get with DAZN if Canelo takes a large chunk of your money, or let's say Anthony Joshua, to put him on there, So I have some questions about, because I don't think pay-per-view is dead. I think to justify, like you've seen Wilder versus Fury in 25 minutes sold $1 million worth of tickets. I think certain fights kind of warrant a pay-per-view. So for Canelo to go to DAZN, then that means they had to break bread. That's what I would imagine, because he's already received good paydays, like really good paydays with Triple G in 2 fights with Floyd. He got good paydays. He was the A side versus Lara and Angulo, so he's made a lot of money in the game. So they had to offer him a large chunk of change, and it's just like a sports team. You have one sports team who's hogging up the salary cap. Like you look at the Raiders, like let's say Khalil Mack, or you look at just Cam Newton or somebody who has one of these crazy contracts. And sometimes those players end up getting traded because it frees up so much more space for them to get a whole bunch of players, instead of this one person who's getting so much. Now, I don't know. We'll see how it works. The other thing that I have a question about is Canelo's going to have to fight top names. I'm good with the Rocky Fielding fight, but we all know that even with the size differential, Rocky Fielding is not the best at super middleweight. We all know that, because he hasn't done what Zurdo Ramirez has done. He's not even a true champion. He lost to Caleb Smith, who's a champion, and just knocked out George Groves and knocked out Rocky Fielding in 1 round. So he has really an alternate title. He doesn't even have the regular super full title, right? So that's cool. You're coming off 2 Golovkin fights. You're stepping outside your comfort zone in a new weight class. Fine, I'm cool. But to justify Canelo getting whatever he probably made for DAZN, he's gonna have to have ratings. And I feel like in boxing, for these superstars, the better the fight, the better the ratings. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna make sense for DAZN to have cashed out Canelo to make a bunch of Rocky Fielding type fights. Now, if they could secure Canelo versus Triple G 3 or something like that, maybe, maybe. But I'm not, me personally, I don't even really want to see the third fight straight away. I want to see Canelo versus Jacobs Derevyanchenko winner, Canelo versus Andrade versus Walter K winner, Canelo versus Charlo. That's a huge fight. So, you know, even at $9.99 as opposed to pay-per-view, I think fans are still gonna want to see Canelo. I guess just want to see Canelo fight, you know, fight threats in whatever division. If he stays at 68, you know, the David Benavidez when he's free to fight, or Caleb Smith, they're gonna want to see those fights. You know, Zurdo Ramirez versus Canelo. Gilberto Ramirez already said he would take the fight. You know, he's down for the fight. If he goes back to 60, Charlo, Andre, you know, they're gonna want to see that. And that's the only way you can really justify doing it, if you get a whole bunch of subscribers and, you know, a lot of funding and endorsements, and, you know, make these events big. But I know for a fact, whatever they offered Canelo, since he's used to pay-per-view, they probably, you know, broke the bank a little bit for him, you know. So maybe this is what they were saving up for. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Congrats to Dazn. And Canelo will wait for more information. Those are just my thoughts. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.